The June 12, 2023 June work session for the Social Circle Board of Education is called to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Dr. Brewer, are there any changes?
No, sir.
No changes. Motion to approve the agenda is presented.
So moved.
Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item is we have approval for several minutes, and they're on the screen before you. The first one, we'll start with A and go through F, is the May budget work session 202. Have a motion to approve these minutes.
So moved.
Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Then we have the May work session. Have a motion to approve these minutes.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Those minutes are approved. The May regular board meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Those minutes are approved. Special call meeting of May 23rd, 23. Those minutes. A motion to approve them.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Public hearing for the 24 tentative budget, 1 of 2. A motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries. And then finally, the special call meeting of 5/31/23. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. No board comments other than what I'd like us to do at our board meeting on Thursday is kind of maybe go around the room with those who went to the conference and pick out one thing that the most to you at the conference maybe. Would that be acceptable to everyone? Be thinking about it. If you don't want to say anything, you don't have to. But those who want to can. Superintendent's report. Superintendent's comments.
So the June regular board meeting agenda, we wanted to be able to talk through the items that we were going to include on that particular day. And Carrie, do we have the June board agenda?
It's on the script.
There's a link on there.
Okay, oh great, thank you so much for pulling that
Somewhere.
there. We talked through it several times today and I didn't bring my copy in, I apologize. So we will spend some time, you've talked about what you'd like to do with the board comments. For the superintendent reports, we'd like to give you an update, a high-level update on the strategic plan, which will be a little bit of a summary of the meetings that we've had throughout the year where people who represented the school district office gave updates in their areas. So we'll be updating you guys on some key accomplishments that we've made in all of those different areas. We also want to make sure that we take some time to have some special board recognition during the meeting for some college board students. And we are hopeful that they'll be able to join us, but we're not sure that it's summer. One thing that I left out that's super important is that after the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like for us to have a moment of silence for Ms. McDaniel. Ms. McDaniel's memorial services will actually be happening the same evening of our event. So we've got a lovely picture and we've got a summary for you guys of how long she worked for us and all of her amazing contributions. It is a tremendous loss to this community for her not to be an educator here any longer. We will then go into a break. We'll have our regular finance updates from Ms. Cross. And then we will need to adopt the FY24 budget at that meeting. We hope to have a few personnel recommendations. At this point, we're really excited. We're fully staffed for the next school year with the exception of bus drivers. We're still looking for bus drivers. And when I tell my other superintendent friends that, they're very, very jealous. We are in a unique position to be able to be at that point, at this point in the summer. We're really, really pleased. And hopefully we'll have some substitutes that we can recommend at that point. And then during executive session, also have a conversation about real estate.
There's one thing too that we need to think about is we need to do your evaluation.
Mhm.
It needs to be done before the August meeting.
Right.
So I know we have a July work session, a regular session.
Mhm.
Typically, I don't think Amber's been through it before. I think everybody else has. Dr. Boole will bring us her evidence and leave it with us at a meeting, hopefully this Thursday if you have time. If not, fine.
Okay.
Um,
We looked back and last time it was done at the July meeting,
That's
so
fine.
if we
That's
could do it
fine.
at the
Yeah.
July meeting, that's what my team is working
Okay,
towards.
so that's fine. I
Okay.
don't remember. I knew it was in July. Then once we get the evidence, you have time to give her a call and ask her anything you have questions about or anything like that. And then our next time we get together, we would actually evaluate her. And you'll see the template and scale. If you have any questions, call whoever you want to call.
And it's the same evaluation tool that you all used with Dr. Hooker.
Yeah, yeah. And then ultimately, after we do a consensus evaluation, Sabrina and I meet with the superintendent, in this case Dr. Boer, for her first actual evaluation. We usually meet for breakfast, Dr. Boer, or lunch on a Saturday. Somewhere out of the social circle, but Madison or Monroe, I think is where we met. And we would give it to you, and then get your feedback. And at that feedback, you would tend to give us any adjustments or not, that you see fit or not. And then we would come back to the board and then hopefully come to an agreement or whatever.
Conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation and then align before August 1st.
Before August 1st,
Yeah.
okay?
But, so I thought it was to be in June and then July. It's fine in July. I'd rather do it.
We can make a move if we need to do it to June.
No, it's
Okay.
not necessary. Just so we get done for August 1st.
Okay.
Okay.
And so the conversation that you all have, does that happen at the July executive session?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
All right, so that's discussion on the agenda there. Ready to move to the next section?
Anything we left out, folks?
Question, the strategic plan addition, is that kind of in response to the recommendation that was made at the GSBA conference about including something about the strategic plan in each of our monthly meetings?
It's something that we've
Specifically
done.
line iteming, identifying it?
I can attest back to the point where Dr. Hooker started working with us, that's been our strategy since then. That we've, at each one of the meetings, just because I know I had to do some of those updates myself. So I know it at least went back to that point. Before that, I'm not sure that was particularly
I just
that.
thought it was specifically, can you say that fast?
Yes.
Bite your tongue. Recommended at the GSBA conference that we include
Yes.
that, and so that it's documented that we're specifically looking at that every month.
Yes, and I believe that's been a recommendation for a while. So, but yes, so you will notice that is one of the things we're definitely accomplishing.
Highlighted line item each month.
I'm sure that will be on your evidence.
It will be.
All right. New business action items. We have the first one is an action item for unnecessary and surplus property resolution. It's on the board for us here. You want to summarize that into a recommendation, Dr. Wood?
So the unnecessary and surplus property, this has to do with the Rutland Elementary, not Rutland Elementary, it's Rutland pre-K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade site. It's a site that our school district has participated in with the other RESA school districts to be able to provide psychoeducational services for students. And as we looked at the results for our students based on the Rutland facility, it's been determined that we could better serve our students if we did them in a more localized fashion. So the students who were needing that those services were on a bus for about an hour each day from here in Social Circle all the way to the site that was in Athens. And so we are coordinating with Walton County Public School Systems and Oconee County Public School Systems. Walton is going to be Walton's the center of our two groups. And so Walton is actually going to house the psychoeducational students between our three school systems. For us, we have between 1 and 3 psychoeducational students a year who need the services, and we will be working with Walton and with Oconee on how to be able to pay for those services. It will be a really expensive service per student, and we are excited that the students will be able to get better services, we believe, being in one central location. So because of that, back when they purchased the property for Rutland, each school district contributed a portion. Randy, does this sound familiar? Because I think you were probably around when we were doing this. And so because our RESA is not going to continue to take advantage of those services, they are willing to sell the facility and then give us a percentage back based on the sale. And as you can imagine, it's central there, right, in the Clark County School District. And so Dr. Hooker, being very strategic, instead of building a facility, his district offered to purchase it. And for the Social Circle district, we would receive 1.43% of the undivided interest on the property once it's sold.
What is it costing us now to send one to Rutland?
Oh, boy,
Didn't
Nicole,
we
you
pay-
guys off the top of your head?
I thought we paid annually and
What's it costing us about I am saying exactly, per student to send one over there now?
We don't really pay it per student.
I
don't pay it
yeah,
per
we
student.
paid an annual
Annual.
stipend
Yeah.
and used it as necessary, if I remember.
This is actually for sale of the property to
Yeah.
Clark County. We did, all of the school districts listed paid a portion of the cost of that facility. We paid well over $113,000, you know? Clark County actually, donated the land, so that is why they are, and it's in Clark County, obviously, so that is why they are, I wouldn't say well over we contributed, I shouldn't say that, but we did make a contribution to the total overall cost. I don't have that number, I can get that for you, but this is actually the sale price of that facility.
So the action item is to sell Rutland back to Athens Clark County in exchange for 1.3% of undivided interest, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation that we sell back Rutland back to Athens Clark County in exchange for 1.3% of the undivided interest?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Oh, we've been sending children over there for a long time.
The whole time I was teaching.
Next action item is surplus property bus.
Ooh. About time to push it if it doesn't go.
And
2006.
So the bus is being put up for surplus due to mechanical engine damage, rendering it out of service and unfit for use as a route or spare bus. The bus also has excessively high mileage and is past its recommended replacement date.
a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to surplus this bus. That's high mileage.
So moved.
Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have an action item. Superintendent is recommending approval of the fiscal year 24 pay schedules.
And those align with the budget, I presume?
Yes, these are the salaries
Sorry.
we discussed in the budget. They're a 5% overall increase. And so each employee will receive a minimum of 5% increase. Depending on if they move to the next experience level, we could see employees anywhere for a total of 8 to 10% increase.
Do I have a motion to approve the fiscal year 24 pay schedules as recommended by our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously.
And I'd like to know while we're there, and just commend Nicole and her team and our HR group for working so hard to make sure that our pay schedules are commensurate with the other area districts. That really helps us to be able to recruit and retain staff when our salaries for all of our positions really tightly align with the other districts. That's not an easy thing to do, and I really appreciate all the hard work that you all put into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is an action item for a field trip. It's for the high school cheer to a UCA cheer camp in LaGrange, June 18th through 20th. Do I have a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent?
We have June.
It's June on our agenda. Is it July?
It's July. That's
Okay.
my fault for June.
That's all right, I'm sorry, thank you for correcting that. It's actually July 18th through 20th for the cheer camp to LaGrange. Do I have a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next, do I have a motion to exit regular session and go into executive session to discuss personnel and real estate?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Do I have a motion to exit executive session and re-enter regular session?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. And we have two personnel recommendations from our superintendent. They're both certified. We'll take them on the same slate. One is Caleb Longnecker for middle school teacher, and one is for Christy Mulkey, high school teacher. Do I have a motion to accept these two recommendations from our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Hold on. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. We adjourn. Thank you.